All right, so someone requested, I think it was on TikTok, to look at auction coin. So we're gonna look at auction coin, and let's start on the daily chart like we usually do. By the way, I will be live here shortly, at 4:30 p.m. Central Time, so in about 30 minutes. Daily chart is completely cooked, so you're oversold on the daily. That's a good sign for bullish continuation to the upside. But it's all going to depend on Bitcoin, obviously. The 4-hour chart is now in an uptrend, so that's a good sign, and the 1-hour chart is overbought. So let's go to the 4-hour chart and see if we made a higher low, which my guess is we didn't. So the last time it was oversold, you were up here around $9.70, and now you're at $7.90 before it's oversold again, and you got overbought here again. It made a lower high. So this is definitely in a downtrend right now. To me, this is definitely not a buy until you. I'm not going to really. I don't love these trend lines, but until you break this, yeah, until you break this trend line, you're still bearish. Now, if you look at the bigger time frame, is on the 4-hour chart. You could possibly say, you're in a falling wedge of some kind. Uh, but overall, this is a bearish pattern until it's not. You could even draw it right here, and that'd still be a falling wedge. That's probably the best way to do it. But overall, you still have a little more downside to go. And if you break $7.40, then the falling wedge is no longer intact, and you can look for far more downside, and then you probably have to draw it like this. But either way, if you lose $7, it's not bullish anymore for this falling wedge. I would not buy this. I set an alert down here at 740 and also at $7. And if both of those break, I'd look for lower prices. But this is possibly what we could call a falling wedge. I don't love it because you can't really touch that point there. It's kind of going in between the price action. You see how it's going. The line would have to go through the price action. I don't love that. But if it were to break to the upside, the measured move would be, you could draw it all the way down here. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with this train view lately. You could draw all the way down to the last local low, which would be right here. And your measured move would be about 1640. So that'd be a huge move to the upside. But like I said, I'm not fully convinced this is going to be a falling wedge, especially if you lose $7. So that's kind of what it's looking like. You're definitely in downtrend. So I would wait till the 4-hour makes a higher low, and even a higher high would be really bullish to me. So the previous high that you have to break in the 4-hour chart to be bullish would be, the first high would be $11.60, and then if you want to be really bullish, you have to break $12.50, and you cannot lose $7.62 if you want the trend to start going up now. So I'm not very bullish on auction right now, but the daily chart is looking juicy to me. The daily chart is extremely low. And technically on the daily chart, let's say if you made a higher low while it's being overbought, you have, unless you lose $7.40, even on the daily chart, you're still technically bullish for auction on the big time frames. But the 3-day chart's overbought. So daily chart looks good, but 3-day chart looks extremely bearish to me. Overall, for the macro term, based on what I'm seeing, I don't like what I'm seeing from auction, and weekly is overbought and curving down. So overall, the weekly and 3-day are pressing down on the daily chart. Overall, to me, auction is not a buy, especially if you lose $7. Then I would look for much lower price targets. And as it says, it came at Coinbase, it's just basically being in a downtrend. I can't be bullish on this right now. I just can't be. So overall, there's a possible falling wedge at play. I'm not extremely sold that that's going to play out. If I had to bet, I would bet it's not going to play out just based on what I'm seeing on the larger time frames. But that's kind of what we're going for auction. Is $7 would be the bearish scenario. And your support is at $3.70. So we'll draw that as support. Let me start to do these support and resistances. I know this is kind of a longer video. Let me make that red for support. And actually, I'm going to start on the daily chart for support and resistances. So obviously, a very strong support. If you don't hold $7, that's where you're going. Is that $3.70 area. So that would be the first target. You had a local high right here, which was at one point local support. So we'll leave that there at $10.40, $10.50 in that range. So your next support, resistance to the upside, if you do break out falling wedge to the upside, would be $10.70. That would be your next resistance. So to the downside, you have support at $4.40, $4. I'm sorry, $3.70, and then to the upside, your resistance at $10.40. And I said $7 is also a key level to hold. So you cannot lose $7 if you want to remain bullish on this. on auction. So those are the three price targets I'm looking for. If you lose $7, I'm looking for 370. If you break to the upside, above $8, I'm looking for $10.60 as the next resistance. If any of those happen, we'll come back and look at it again. But overall, I'm betting we're going to see $3.70, especially as Bitcoin is not looking extremely bullish right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm not very bullish on this. I will see you guys in the live in about 25 minutes. I'll see you guys in the next update.